Hello and welcome to another edition of the Are You Ready Wrestling podcast here on Newport City Radio. We are going very Scottish today, and yeah, we're going to be talking all things Clash at the Castle. Obviously, it was just around the corner from us here in Newport back in 2022. The Principality Stadium. 22.
It was 22.
It was last year.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. It was the year before. They went to London last year for Money in the Bank. That was that UK PLE.
Yeah.
If you hadn't guessed so already, I'm joined once again by Curtis. Hello.
Hello.
And he is back, the voice of reason, the voice of all things professional wrestling. He joined us for our first two editions, talking all things WrestleMania. He's only here for the big shows. Mr. Big Show himself, Adam.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I've come back with my views, my thoughts, and my attitude.
I slowly turned down Adam's microphone at that mention of the Attitude Era. You mentioned it last week, Curtis. Adam mentioned it today. Can we beat our record from WrestleMania review?
Well, it's quite easy to be done because, yeah, my thoughts are we've got reliving at the Attitude Era, and we're
That's
going
two.
back. Attitude Era 2.0.
That's three. You last joined us for the WrestleMania edition. It's just up from then up until now, quite a few people have kind of called it a little bit boring, just trying to meander their way until you get some of the bigger stars back, like Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Rhea Ripley, obviously Adam back on this podcast. Have you enjoyed what you've seen over the past couple of weeks on WWE television and PLEs?
Backlash I really enjoyed. I think the PLEs are up in their game, but I think the live shows like Raw, SmackDown, they need to up their game now a bit to match PLEs, even though we know the PLEs are the moneymaker, the bigger shows. If they don't sort out Raw, SmackDown and up their game a bit, I think they may lose the direction they're going in.
What do you mean by
it seems to be stagnating at the moment, and people are going to get bored, and they're going to lose viewers, and their ratings may plummet a little bit.
But don't you always get that post WrestleMania? We always see one or two people go, or one or two of the bigger stars go on a bit of a break, bit of a hiatus for a couple of months. We always see Roman Reigns after he retains at WrestleMania. We don't see him then until about this time, the following WrestleMania or SummerSlam or whatever. Don't you always get this kind of thing, though?
Yeah, you do, but they should have a backup in place to keep it at that high level. Otherwise, people get bored and they switch off.
Are you getting bored and are you switching off, Curtis?
Pardon?
I don't know if he's on about you there, Adam.
I hinted a bit of sarcasm there.
Yeah. Do you agree with Adam though, Curtis? Do you find that WWE TV is a little bit boring at the moment?
Yeah, I think so as well. Like, obviously you haven't got the big superstars like Roman Reigns, Rhea Ripley and stuff like that, but the PLEs, the past 2-3 that we've had, especially since Triple H took over, ever since WrestleMania, has just been great. Very exciting. Entertaining throughout. The matches have been good, mixing it and stuff, but just the Raws and SmackDowns, the live shows, are just like, they're kind of the same thing, they're just repeating it. I think we just go back to, they're just kind of playing it out and just seeing how it goes each week and stuff, see what reactions they get from the crowd and stuff. But like Adam said, the crowds are going to get bored and they're just going to switch off if it's the same stuff over and over again. Like, we've got the story on SmackDown with the Bloodline and stuff, with Solo Sikoa taking over, and obviously you've got on Raw Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio storyline. We know that we're just going to get a repeat of that all the time, and it's just not going to be fun. It's just going to get very boring and stuff, but who knows?
Is touched on the Liv and Dom. When Rhea comes back, as soon as that set was played out, first thing that came to my head was we're reliving the Matt Hardy, Edge and Lita storyline. Even though it was like a decade ago, it seems okay, let's revive old storylines but with different characters.
Well, I'm thinking just it actually relates to Dominic as well. Do you remember I'd say about 15 years ago when the late great Eddie Guerrero was still with us?
Yeah.
Do you remember the custody of Dominic Mysterio ladder match?
Yeah.
Could we see that again with Liv and Rhea, and the winner gets Dom?
I think so.
You know it's going to happen, and this is the one thing I like not a huge fan of. You can kind of predict like 3-4 months down the line.
Especially with social media nowadays, like all the big returns have kind of been, they get rumoured all over X and stuff and Instagram, and
apart from CM Punk, which for me made that return even more special because there were so many questions of, is he going to show up? Will he be there?
Especially with Randy coming back on the same night as well.
People were saying if one comes back, both won't come back, and
it so happened that both came back.
Yes, both came back, and it's looking like we're going to see at least one on the PLE. Both of them over the weekend. So obviously Randy Orton is on SmackDown. We only get Adam in for the big occasions. And there is no bigger occasion than this. Coming up this weekend from the OVO Hydro Arena in Glasgow, Scotland. Or how does Triple H say it?
Glasgow.
Clash at the Castle. As I said at the start of this podcast, we had the very first Clash at the Castle right here on our doorstep in Wales, at the Principality, in front of 60,000. Where he just mentioned him then. We've seen the debut of one Solo Sikoa. And we also seen Dominic Mysterio turn on his father and Edge, going back to what you were saying, Adam. I don't want to use the word disappointed, because we always see with wrestling shows, especially major wrestling shows like this, they always kind of move around the place. You look at WrestleMania, it's not always in the same place, you know. Last year was in LA, this year was in Philly. But were you a little bit disappointed when you seen the Clash was up in Scotland, or...?
Yeah, I was very disappointed. I thought that they were going to keep a PLE for Wales, and especially with Money in the Bank being in London. So London have had their PLE. I thought that we were going to get Clash back here again this year. But
is focusing on Clash and the PLEs, I personally feel...
I already know what we're going to get.
Yeah. SummerSlam next year. I honestly, because they've announced 2026.
Now, did they?
They haven't announced 2025 yet.
They haven't.
And I honestly, sorry to cut you dead, I honestly think on Saturday they're going to announce it, and I would love them to say SummerSlam next year is going to be in Cardiff. It could be London. I was speaking to a friend last night, and he actually thinks it's going to be Dublin. And so I've already searched flights from Cardiff out to Dublin, because if tickets are... If it is, and my gut says we're going to get SummerSlam next year, I do feel that I need to actually go and attend my very first ever live WWE event.
You haven't been to one before?
No.
Not even like a little pop-up show in like London, and like where they do on the tours and stuff. You've never been to one?
Never actually been to one.
That's mad.
That's nuts.
I have to go.
I've been to two, which was back in 2021 that they did in London, where it was the room they were building Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre ready for Clash, and I was with someone who made Roman Reigns break character, which was very, very funny.
Yeah, you showed me the video of
that. It's all over YouTube and stuff. It's quite funny. And then I went to Clash at the Castle in 2022.
I've been to one. I got a ticket for another, or two others. But I'm spending it with you lovely people instead. Where was I going with this? I've lost my train of thought.
I don't know. I think I sidetracked you.
You did. I was going to ask you the question, Adam. Obviously, we haven't seen one of the big four go out of America yet, apart from I can remember SummerSlam in 1992 obviously being at Wembley.
Yeah.
I want to say that was the last time one of the big 4 pay-per-views, that being Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam and Survivor Series, has been out of
and
America.
It's why I'm adamant SummerSlam we are going to get next year.
In the UK.
Yeah. And as we've seen, like Triple H and the Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, exchanging a few tweets around the possibility of WrestleMania coming to London in like a couple of years. Triple H, his response, let's talk. So I personally feel there's a lot of will and want behind bringing them out of the States and bringing them, one of them, into the UK. But it comes down to the cost of money. It's like the only reason Saudi have got the big ones is because they invest
50 million a show, isn't it?
Yeah, is, which I'm not even going to go into that, but I think it was disgusting how they treated the women.
You've mentioned before, you haven't mentioned before, Curtis has been your avatar for that on this podcast.
It's like, I get their culture and whatnot, and I understand, like, when they first started doing shows out in the Middle East, the very first two or three shows, there was
no women's matches whatsoever, was there?
So it's progressed.
Yes.
But I still feel that a lot, the WWE execs could have made a good standpoint in being like, no, we're treating our female wrestlers the same as the male wrestlers. If you don't like it, we're not going to come. And so, but I am privy to them talks. I know if I was, I'd be possibly kicked out of that boardroom anyway. But at least we're seeing some women.
Yes.
Which is a positive step forward.
I believe the last time they went over to Saudi Arabia for King Queen of the Ring, they held a women in sports evening. They held some kind of celebration of women in sports out there in Saudi Arabia, which is a huge step forward.
I know I'm a bit critical, but I also want to praise them because they are making steps in the right direction for a fair and more equal society. But more must be done, and hence why they should come to bring one of the major PLEs to the UK, because we're happy, open, accepting, and we want to see them wrestle. We want to see the females, we want to see the males wrestle fairly equally. And so, yeah. But mark my words, we're going to get SummerSlam next year.
Would that be a 2-night SummerSlam? Because we see in 2026 they've announced when it's in Minneapolis, it is going to be a 2-night event. Would you like to see that, or do you think they'll save that for...
For me personally, I think it'll keep it as a 1 night.
Yeah.
Because it'll lose the hype of a 2-night for next year. But then going forward, I think we're going to see more of the big major PLEs, like the 4 big PLEs turning into a 2-night.
I think so.
And I think, like, we'll use Royal Rumble. 1 night should be dedicated to the women. The second night should be dedicated to the men. At least that way then is showcasing all talent, not just selective few.
Yes. That was the Political Hour here on the IUSU Wrestling Podcast. I really wanted to talk about Clash at the Castle, Adam. So we will do just that.
Yes.
Yeah, as I say, it's the 3rd WWE Premium Live event to be held in the UK in 3 consecutive years. That's the 4th, if you include All In, which was at Wembley Stadium last year, and again this year. According to our card, the first match, this is, again, according to our good friends at Wikipedia, and Actually, before we come on to this, Curtis, what do you think on main event? Because we see obviously Drew McIntyre against Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. Yes. But then we also see Cody Rhodes with the undisputed WWE Championship against AJ Styles.
But it's not any ordinary match though, is it?
It's not. Should we start there then?
Yeah.
It's an I Quit match. Does that mean it our main event? What do you kind of feel?
It's either going to go two ways. They're either going to kick it off to set the standard with the I Quit match. But surely with Drew being from Scotland, they'd save Drew to have the main event with the possible interference of CM Punk, which you seem so thrilled about. But I don't know, because are they really going to have Cody and AJ main event another PLE? And especially, are they going to throw Drew? Are they going to throw off Drew for the main event? I think they should give the main event to Drew, and Cody and AJ should either open the show or be in the middle of the show to kind of keep the tone going. We've seen it quite a few times as well. Bianca Belair normally is either on the pre-show or normally kicks off the PLE. She did it at Clash of the Castle when it was in Cardiff. She kicked it off.
It was a 6-woman tag, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a 6-woman tag against Damage Control.
Yeah. With her, Alexa Bliss, and...
Was Oscar on that team?
Oscar, she would have been, yes.
Yeah, it was Oscar, yeah.
Against Damage Control being Io, Dakota, and Bayley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was Oscar, Bianca, and Alexa Bliss. I've just found the photos and videos from...
There we go.
The show.
There we go. Cody Rhodes again, great. We know he can get a good promo. Said on Friday on SmackDown he's going to make AJ Styles say the words he should have said last week, that being I quit. Obviously leading to this I quit match we spoke about last week on the podcast about AJ Styles kind of doing the Mark Henry in terms of announce he's going to retire only for him to be lure someone in, lure the champion in so we can get another shot at the title.
Yeah.
Adam?
I want to see the women end the show.
Main event
it. The women's. Because...
with Drew McIntyre?
I think Drew would be the best to open it. The crowd is going to erupt, and that will set the mark. The minute... And I personally feel Drew should be the very first person to actually come out. This is in his hometown, or home nation. The crowd at Backlash was phenomenal. I think the crowd in Glasgow when Drew comes out is going to be amazing. And I think if it was down to me, I would have Drew coming out first. And then the crowd is hyped then for the night straight away.
Talking about Drew's entrance, do we think we're going to get his old theme song back?
I was going to ask the exact same question.
Because it was teased in Cardiff.
They used it in a hype package, didn't they?
Yeah. Do we think he's going to come out to that?
I think he will, yes.
Yeah,
I think so too.
I think so, especially with him being in Scotland in front of his home people and whatever. Anyway, as I was talking about AJ Styles, Cody Rhodes in the I Quit match, you keep getting us distracted, Adam. You keep leading us down rabbit holes. Yeah, Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles, I Quit match. Is this the right move? I want to say it was you, Curtis, spoke last week about Cody Rhodes being directionless, if that's the words that you'd like to put with this.
Yeah.
This definitely does give him a little bit of direction now heading into Clash.
Yeah, there was rumours obviously on social media that they didn't really know what to do with Cody, and they were just going to do fill-in storylines with him until Roman Reigns come back, and then he was going to still be involved with the Bloodline story and something along those lines. But yeah,
I think the best way for Cody over the next couple of months is to turn heel.
I don't think so. I think the best thing for Cody to do is to face Randy Orton at SummerSlam. That's the move to make. Turn Randy Orton heel, you know, Randy does some of his best work when he is a heel. You look back to mid 2000s Legend Killer Randy Orton and things like that.
But
Cody obviously was in. What was the faction he was in with Randy? It wasn't Evolution. That was him.
Yeah,
Randy Batista.
Legacy.
That's the one. So Cody has been with Randy basically since we first seen him on the main roster. So there'd be so much storyline there.
I just think when Roman comes back, he is going to be babyface.
Yes.
And to have two babyfaces going up against each other,
that's not going to work.
So that is why I think they're going to turn Cody heel, because the crowd is hyped and want Roman as babyface. But
Roman won't be, for me, I don't think he'll be anywhere near the WWE Championship scene because of the bloodline stuff.
Obviously, it was announced on SmackDown that Solo Sikoa is the temporary head of the table, I suppose.
Yeah.
And
so I think when Roman comes back, which apparently is filming on his, whatever he's filming is wrapping up pretty soon. So he will be back within, I'd say, maybe before SummerSlam.
Well, I seen on a clip on social media that him and Roman Reigns, Seth, back in the gym and they're back training. And there was also a clip of Dean Ambrose. And I was like, oh my days, could you imagine it?
John Moxley.
Yeah, same person.
The current IWGP World Champion.
Wouldn't it be a dream to bring the three of them back to take on the Bloodline?
It would, but the way that I see it going, and I don't know about you, Curtis, is OG Bloodline being Roman and the Usos against this new Bloodline, Tama Tonga, Tangaloa, and Solo Sikoa.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to have. They're going to like a War Games match at Survivor Series.
Yes, they'll be dragging this out till... I say dragging it out. You've still got Jacob Fatu to... He's been signed to the company now for over 2 months and we still haven't seen him. Are they that scared he's going to outshine Solo Sikoa?
Well, that's what they said on social media.
That was the original rumour.
What do you think, Adam? Do you think they're scared that he's going to outshine Solo Sikoa?
I don't know. I don't know much about him, if I'm honest. I haven't been watching him. But are we bored of a Bloodline story, though? We've had it for the past 3 years.
We have, but when it seems to get boring, something happens.
Yeah.
Something happens.
It was getting boring towards like last year at WrestleMania, and then it kind of it was boring again, and then Cody won the Rumble, and then it was originally, I think The Rock come out after WrestleMania and said the original plan was for him versus, it was going to be
him against Roman.
Him versus against Roman for the title, and then The Rock kind of changed his ideas and went to Triple H and said, why don't we turn me heel and then have it on one night, Cody and Seth versus Roman and The Rock, and then have night 2 as Cody versus Roman.
Yeah, again, it goes back to what we said earlier, is that like it seems to be the same storylines, and I know for me, if we revive the Bloodline, I'd be bored.
Okay. Anyway, the Bloodline is not on this show. How did we end up down that rabbit hole?
Because we were talking about Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles.
And possibly in the future, Cody going heel.
Who, Curtis, for you, will say the dreaded words, I quit?
AJ Styles.
Adam?
You thought Logan was going to beat Cody last time, so don't you dare say Cody's going to say I quit.
If I'm honest, I think none of them are going to say it. I think it's going to be... I know it's a... No DQ in there on that.
One of them has to say it.
One of them has to.
Okay, then. AJ is going to be the one that says I quit.
Okay. So both of you think Cody's going to win?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
I agree with both of you. I think Cody Rhodes will win. I don't see AJ Styles. I think he said himself he's got like maybe 2 years left. Did he give him another title reign maybe before his career was over? Maybe. But will it be at Cody Rhodes' expense? No. 2 months into his title reign, without him having a major story or whatever? No. What is interesting, though, for me, is where they go from here, because the way that AJ kind of lured Cody into this is by Nick Aldis saying if he wants a title shot, he has to go to the back of the line and earn his way there. And AJ kind of said he hasn't got that time.
Yeah.
So it's going to be so interesting to see what happens.
Who's next in line as well?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see that. I think they'll start building towards SummerSlam, because after Clash you've always got Money in the Bank and then SummerSlam. Yeah. So I can't see them start to build towards Cody's match at SummerSlam. As I say, I think it could be Randy Orton. I hope it's Randy, because there's so much storyline there to kind of dive into. But yes, just going to be interesting to see where AJ does go from here, because as I say, he hasn't got long left in the business. So whether it'll be a match against Nick Aldis maybe at SummerSlam, and he kind of, but how you get there, I don't know.
Who knows?
But yeah, I think for me, more interesting to see where AJ Styles goes after this.
Definitely.
Hey Curtis. I want to know if Bayley is your girl and if Bayley's going to beat Piper Niven. Talk about our transition.
I believe Bayley will retain against Piper Niven.
We see, kind of when they went to Australia early in the year, we've seen Rhea main event, we've seen Indy Hartwell on the pre-show. They always do that well in terms of wherever they go in the country or the world. Wrestlers from that part of the world are kind of utilised well and pushed going into that. And there's, out of the 5 matches we have so far, 3 of them contain wrestlers from Scotland.
They do.
Go on.
Adam, who have you got?
I think Piper Niven is going to win with a lot of... There's going to be interference.
Well, she has Chelsea Green on her side.
And...
don't forget Damage Control.
Hang on, Curtis. Who's she got on her side?
I'm not doing what Samantha does.
Go on.
Adam, you're the best for this.
Wow.
Do what Samantha does when she announces Chelsea Green.
No.
Go on, one of you asked to.
You do it.
I'm not doing it.
You're the host.
Yeah, you're the host.
I asked you the question.
Yeah, we reversed it.
Una reverse. You can't Una reverse it.
Why do you think Piper Niven's going to win, Adam? You say interference. Who's going to interfere? Obviously, as Curtis rightly alluded to, Chelsea Green.
It's Chelsea Green
ringside.
Is going to be there to support. And I just think Bayley's had a bit of a run. But what's next is like the same with Cody Rhodes. There's nothing there really for Bayley moving forward. And you're in Scotland, you're in Piper Niven's own nation. I just think, I would love WWE Clash to play for the crowd this, and if Piper Niven wins, I think it could be amazing. Like the crowd will erupt again.
You say that's the thing for Bayley. Obviously, one of the stipulations for King Queen of the Ring is that the winner or the winners of those 2 tournaments would receive a title match against the champion of their brand at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So that means whoever wins this will go on to face.
Can you imagine it? Piper Niven v
Nia Jax at SummerSlam.
That's 2 female powerhouses. That is, to me...
But then going back to your point earlier about babyface Cody Rhodes and babyface Roman Reigns, that would be 2 heels against each other.
Yeah, maybe. See?
Are you bucking yourself into a hole, into a corner here?
But the same with Cody. Give him a couple of months to turn. Could Nia or Piper turn?
I don't think so. Nia's always been that heel character, isn't she, in WWE? And
unless you see her socials.
Yeah.
And I love her on her social media.
And apart from when Piper Niven was Doudrop, last year, which I tend to forget about, as I'm sure she does as well. She's always been that heel character as well, so it'll be interesting to see if you are right here, Adam, and Piper does win, how they kind of book her going into that SummerSlam match against Nia Jax.
But I think Piper v Nia Jax, that could be a huge draw with two super heavyweights, female, that we haven't seen. We haven't seen that ever in I haven't anyway, in WWE, in the women's league. So I think it could turn into a good match if it's them two.
Curtis, do you agree with Adam, or what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I do agree. I don't really know what direction that they could go for Bayley, but I don't know. It makes sense for Piper Niven to win. Obviously, she's in her hometown, home country, Scotland. Could they just go all out and give all the titles?
I don't see anyone beating Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill without women's tag team titles.
I agree.
I agree.
I think Bianca and Jade are gonna retain.
Do we see a rematch though? Maybe depending on who takes the pin. Could we see?
We could. You know, I nearly said Gunther. He's been Intercontinental Champion for so long. I still think he is. Sami Zayn. Who do you wrestle in Saudi Arabia?
Gunther.
No. Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, and Bronson Reed. We've seen Bronson take the pin, and now we'll come on to it in a little bit. It's a one-on-one match between Gable and Sami Zayn, so there is precedent for it. Is that where we're going to leave our Bayley and Piper Niven? Any other thoughts on that match?
For me, I think Piper Niven is going to win her.
Okay, so that we're split on that prediction. How loud do you think the Hey Bayley chants are going to be?
Very, very loud.
Yeah.
But I think the chance for Piper Niven is going to be even louder.
Could we see it being like one side Bayley,
Maybe.
kind of one side Piper Niven?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Where should we go next?
Sami Zayn?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just mentioned him then in terms of Saudi Arabia and it being a triple threat match. Now it's a one-on-one match. He turned heel on Sami Zayn. I want to say it was the second Raw after WrestleMania when they fought for the Intercontinental title. They do it again in the third match of a trilogy, I believe. It's 1-1 at the moment. Go on, Adam, sorry.
Sorry. Go on, what was you going to say?
No, go on.
What we have to factor in on this is the outside interference of Otis.
Well, it's not just Otis, it's the whole of the Alpha Academy.
Yeah, but I think Otis is going to play a pivotal role in this.
Here's the question, Adam. You say he's going to play that important role. Is it going to be as a heel or a babyface?
Babyface. And I think he is... I know on Raw just gone, he attacked Sami Zayn, but Chad Gable have pushed all three of them to breaking point, and the crowd really wants Otis to turn on Chad. And I think it could actually happen at Clash. May not. They may draw out that storyline a little bit longer till Money in the Bank. But I think if it doesn't happen at Clash, it's going to happen within the next month or so. Because if it don't, then people are going to lose oomph within this storyline.
Curtis, do you agree with Adam? Do you think that Otis will turn babyface on the weekend? Because they've been teasing it for a couple of weeks on different thing on Raw in terms of Otis not attacking Sami Zayn when Gable's asked him to, and he has done when on times. And how do you think this will all play out?
They've been hinting it for a good few weeks now. I kind of hope he does turn on Chad Gable, and I think it will happen. It could go either way. I've got down that Chad Gable will beat Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title, and then maybe Otis attacks Chad Gable after he's celebrating winning the title,
and that could lead to a good Chad v Otis.
But Curtis, don't forget Chad Gable's contract is up as of next week with WWE, so he can't win, can he? Surely he can't win, because the dirt sheets are saying that his contract are up.
Surely he can, though. I don't believe it. I believe he's re-signed. They wouldn't give him a title match if he hasn't re-signed.
They can sign right up to the if their contract runs out at midnight, they can still sign that contract at 11:59. It just brings out more hype, more talk, and more focus on Chad Gable. So it could be. It's that speculation: is he going to resign? Is he not? And then it's that social interaction with, and it's all focused. It's going to be a good storyline coming around Chad and Otis over the few months.
Do you think Chad Gable's going to win?
Yeah.
Adam?
I think Sami is going to win.
Okay.
Or it's going to be a disqualification, because I think Otis may interfere.
Won't cost.
And so Sami will retain because Otis will cost the match. And then it will build up to the story between Chad and Otis.
Now, something interesting to note, and I mentioned it, I think, earlier on in this podcast, the next premium live event after Clash is Money in the Bank, which takes place in Canada.
Yes.
Where's Sami Zayn from?
Yes.
He's from Yes, is he?
I'm tired.
Where's Sami Zayn from?
Canada.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, I've seen a couple of, I don't say rumours, more theories online and more fancy booking that if Zayn is to lose his Intercontinental title here on the weekend, he would be a shoo-in to win that.
And a rematch.
No, he'd be a shoo-in to win the Money in the Bank briefcase in his home country. A bit like as we kind of alluded to with Drew winning in his homeland.
Yeah.
Which I'll come on to in a little bit. Is that the way that you, Adam, you, Curtis, is you think Gable will win, or do you think that Zayn will go back for a fourth match against Chad Gable?
It could go either way. It could be.
Get off that fence! Come on.
Get off what fence?
It could go either way.
Well, it's not as bad as him saying Attitude Era, is it?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, well, I've just reminded him. Brilliant stuff.
Curtis?
Attitude Era 2.0.
Adam, do you actually think we're in the Attitude Era 2.0?
It doesn't matter what he thinks.
Ooh,
Talk about
just
attitude.
know your role and shut your mouth. Oh no, was it shut your mouth or shut your face? Know your role anyway. And for anyone who's listening in, you'll know that's The Rock.
Yes.
Not anything aggressive.
Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
Yeah, he's cooking gammon later.
What is The Rock having with his gammon?
It's going to be chips, mushrooms, egg, pineapple.
Fried egg?
I don't mind. Grilled tomato. Oh, I'm hungry.
Adam, where's my invite?
Ask the pigeon. He should have dropped it off to you. It was sent first class pigeon post.
It's like him, delayed.
Yeah.
What, the man outside the carpenters?
No, you.
So anyway,
Putting it. Yes. Anyway, Zayn, Gable. So we both think that Otis will turn on the weekend.
yes.
Yeah.
Do we both see Gable v Otis at Money in the Bank?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we see that potentially being a multi-man thing?
Yeah.
Or multi-match thing?
I think it'll lead to SummerSlam as well.
Now, okay, you mentioned about Otis. There's two other members of Alpha Academy, that being Akira Tozawa and Maxine Dupree.
Yes.
Where will their allegiances lie? Will they turn with Otis being that baby face, or will they turn against him and go with Chad Gable? Or could we see maybe one go one way, one go the other?
I think we're going to see them all go their own separate ways. I personally feel.
Okay, so they'll split from this storyline of the Alpha Academy to Curtis?
Yeah, I think they're going to go their own ways. I don't see much for them really in the storyline. The main focus around the storyline is Chad Gable and Otis. And yeah.
Do you see though them potentially staying around this for maybe up until they have Otis and Chad have their match?
Probably. Because
then that would be the Afro Academy kind of imploding.
Yeah, I think
a way.
Eventually it's just going to implode, and I think that's the direction that they're going to go in.
If it hasn't imploded already.
Wow, if it hasn't. Are they ready for the implosion?
I think you could see the fragments kind of slowly start to peel away, and coming up in Scotland you're going to see that explosion.
Indeed.
Anyway, on the subject of Scotland, we haven't really seen them much since they got called up to the main roster about a year ago. Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn, I'm on about the tag team of them. They go up against Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark and the women's tag team champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill in a triple threat match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Curtis, as I said earlier, 3 out of the 5 matches contain Scottish wrestlers. This is one of them. I think it's only fair that Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn are on the card. Do you agree? Do you think it's good to see them? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's good. It's good to see them back on the main roster fully, especially on a PLE as well. And what a way to do it in a triple threat tag team match against, the 2 women that have dominated since they've been paired together. Going against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, and also Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark.
Do you think Baszler and Stark are there to take the pin?
I think so, yeah. I think they're going to protect those 4 and just Shayna and Zoe Stark just kind of take the pin. And, yeah.
Because I think we've seen Baszler and Stark before for the women's tag team championships. This has kind of been a slow build. We've seen Alba Fyre and Isla Dawn for about 3 or 4 weeks on Raw kind of go after, I think they've been on SmackDown as well, going after the tag team champions, and now they finally get their opportunity up in Scotland.
Yeah.
For me, I want Belair and Cargill to lose the title.
To lose?
Yeah.
To who?
Doesn't matter who. I just want them stripped of the title. And not because they don't deserve it, they're a phenomenal pair. But I am getting sidetracked because I'm thinking Survivor Series and stuff that, like, later on down the line.
But in terms of, you mentioned going into a little bit of politics here, in terms of representation, to see 2 powerful, strong black women with championships in WWE, do you not see that being...
I think
more of the positive than anything?
It's definitely a positive. But I think what would be even more of a positive is to see a headline between Bianca and Jade at a huge PLE.
I think you save that to WrestleMania. That is a WrestleMania.
Yeah. So at some point, or it could be Royal Rumble, which is also like January. So they got to like start pushing them too, and I just feel if they don't lose at Clash, I think they need to lose it by Survivor Series
in November.
It's November.
That's 5 months away.
Yeah,
there is plenty of time. I just don't see the tag team not worthy enough. With tag teams that can match them.
Yeah.
Unless they vacate and one turns on each other or...
I And I stand by. I love the fact that them two have the championship belt, what they stand for, the positive message they're giving out to young black females or people of colour, and it's just like a strong, positive, powerful message. But I would love to see them two go head to head and be like, who is the actual powerhouse out of them two?
What do you think, Curtis?
Eventually they are going to lose the titles, and eventually they are going to have a match. When that happens, I don't know. It's definitely a WrestleMania match, obviously, when we've said it before previously on podcasts and stuff, when Jade Cargill first arrived in WWE, that it is the money match, it is the WrestleMania match, it is the match that, well, everyone has alluded to before.
We want to see it.
Every fan wants to see it. Could I see them losing the titles at Clash? Yeah and no, but
the only team that I see them losing them to, if we are talking about Clash, is obviously Alpha Fight and Art of Dawn.
Yeah, they would be the only people that I see winning them. Do they win it? Don't think so. I don't think so. I think they're going to keep Bianca and Jade as...
Could we, though, see, like, one of them make a mistake and start to see the rift and the split happening at Castle? Even though they'll retain the title, could, like, keep the titles and retain it, could we start now seeing the rift forming at Clash? That would be...
Not yet, I don't think.
Do you think they have a tag match at, like, I don't know, SummerSlam, saying it kind of starts from SummerSlam way?
Maybe. Maybe we can get that kind of slow...
build up to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Obviously, WrestleMania will be in Las Vegas.
It will be. Find me a team that can beat them. You can't. There is not a women's tag team in WWE at the moment that can beat those two for the title.
Yeah, I agree. I fully agree. But at some point...
it's going to happen.
They have to split so we get the money match.
Who do we... If we were to put a name or a tag team right now, who would beat them? Not thinking about this just match as well, but out of all the tag teams that are out there, who do we think is going to take the titles off them?
Honestly, I see them vacating.
You see them vacating? Adam, who do you think? Do you think they're going to...
Down the line, because, as I say, there's not...
Are they going to try and keep them protected from not taking a pin?
Yeah.
And just kind of shove the titles away and then have like a tournament to crown the new tag team titles?
Maybe.
I don't know. I want to see the future so I can answer that.
Go into the WWE headquarters. I'm sure CM Punk would find something in there for you.
I'll just phone Triple H now and be like, Yo,
Paul.
What's the plan? Up?
I got an idea for you.
What's the plan for Glasgow?
Or Cardiff.
Cardiff.
So yeah, what's your prediction, Luke?
I think, if I haven't made it clear already, I think Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill retain.
Okay.
Adam?
I think they'll retain, but we know my view on it. I want them to split. Or lose it.
I think they're going to retain.
But what we got to think of as well, and as it in Scotland, we got 3 Scottish matches. Not all of them are going to win.
We've seen that when they came down here.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the first UK pay-per-view in 30 years. Sheamus lost for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah.
Drew McIntyre lost for the Undisputed title against Roman Reigns. Who are the other Europeans on that card? Obviously, Gunther, he's Austrian, so he can kind of...
Didn't Finn...
He was with the Judgment Day, wasn't he? He won.
And so, who knows? Right, let's talk, shall we, about...
the possible main event, or the biggest match out on the whole card.
Damian Priest v Drew McIntyre.
Now, this has been building ever since, I want to say, Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Last year, when Drew turned heel, he's with the Judgment Day. But throughout this, all Drew wants is the World Heavyweight title.
Mm-hmm.
We seen him win at WrestleMania. He beat Seth Rollins and held it for about 5 minutes in what was one of the best WrestleMania moments of 2024, of WrestleMania 40, XL, whatever you want to call it. And then he got obsessed with CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Which ended up costing him because Punk attacked him.
How do you feel? How do you think the match is going to play out, Luke?
It's tough because, as I alluded to earlier with Nia Jax, whoever wins this has Gunther
SummerSlam.
at SummerSlam. We know he is going to wrestle for the World Heavyweight title because he won the King of the Ring tournament. We know that is going to happen.
Yep.
So it's a case of, does Drew hold the title? Because I don't see Gunther losing at SummerSlam. I don't. You know, we won the King of the Ring tournament. He ain't losing at SummerSlam. The way I see it, and this might get some heat, I don't think Drew will win. I don't think Drew McIntyre will win the World Heavyweight title.
Is that
For one line, when pushed, I'm Satan himself.
Okay.
Is he going to be costed by a certain someone that I know you love?
That's who I just quoted.
Yes, I know.
What's your thoughts on the match? How do you think it's going to play out? Curtis, I forgot your name then. Oof.
How can you forget my name? How dare you forget my name?
It's quite easy.
It is, to be fair.
Anyway, answer the question, please. How do you think the match
I'll talk to you after the podcast when we're off air and I can say
I'll see you outside, Curtis.
There's a few tables out there. I'll go put you through them.
We're not doing a table ladders chairs match outside, sorry.
Why is that?
Because I said so.
Should we outside Mojo's? Or Jojo's? Mojo's on the corner.
No. Anyway. Please answer the question.
I've got Drew McIntyre down to win. How long that lasts, who knows? He's not going to... Obviously, if he does win it this time, he's not going to lose it to anyone. So, I think Drew McIntyre will win, which will then set up a match against Drew McIntyre versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, which Gunther will win.
At SummerSlam.
Now, do you want to know my view on it?
Here we go.
Yeah.
The big view, the big opinion.
Yes.
The all great.
So, Damien v. Drew. I think it's going to be a lot of interference. I think Finn is going to come in and try and cause a bigger rift.
He's one of your favourite wrestlers, isn't he?
Yeah.
Balor.
With Judgment Day. But I also think the surprise is going to be CM Punk. And CM Punk is going to cost Drew the title, the match, rather. Damien is going to retain. And then it will lead up to a 3-way triple threat at Money in the Bank, which is going to be Damien v. Drew v. CM Punk. And then Drew will lose it at Money in the Bank. And then it's going to cause the split, because by then hopefully Rhea Ripley will be back and we'll see the dismantling of Judgment Day. And then Drew will then win it at Money in the Bank to go on to face Gunther at SummerSlam.
But isn't the match between Drew and CM Punk greater than the need for Drew to hold the title for, say, 2 months?
I don't know. I just think between Damien and Drew, I think this CM Punk has got to be there. If he doesn't, he's going to miss out a big opportunity. And I think it's going to make...
I actually really hope he's there.
I think it's going to turn into a good...
Don't be sad, Luke.
Good storyline. That, you know, as we spoke earlier, and I was like, we're missing a good, decent storyline.
Yes.
I think this is what Raw or SmackDown needs. It
would be Raw.
That's the type of storyline that would help keep their ratings going up until the next PLE.
till the next PLE indeed, which is, as I say, Money in the Bank. I want to say it's the first PLE since WrestleMania just over 2 months ago to be held in North America on the main roster anyway, 'cause since then they've been in France, Saudi Arabia, and now in Glasgow. Yeah, Curtis, do you really think that Gunther, obviously Gunther, as I say, will win at SummerSlam? I personally think that, but do you not... what would CM Punk do at SummerSlam if he is healthy, seeing as you don't have him going up against Drew McIntyre?
Are they going to save CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre for WrestleMania in Las Vegas?
I don't think so.
So
he'll be too long.
So you think they're going to do it at SummerSlam?
Yeah.
And you think Drew's not going to win? And they're going to...
I think they may actually do it at Survivor Series.
I don't think so.
I mean, it would make sense for CM Punk to cost Drew the title. There's so many different things and different opinions that I'm sure the viewers will have. It could mean that Drew will win, and obviously at some point we're going to get the turn of Judgment Day. When that happens will probably be when Rhea's back. Talking about Rhea, I did see something on social media that she, I think with an injury update, that she's choosing to have rehab on her shoulder instead of going for surgery.
She was backstage at Double or Nothing last week.
Yeah, and apparently she's not... I don't think she's scheduled to be back for SummerSlam. I don't think
She won't be back for a little while if it's that bad of a shoulder injury.
But who knows what could happen, but I think Drew will win. But I don't know. All we know is it could go multiple ways. CM Punk could... We know CM Punk's going to interfere. We know that.
Yeah.
We know Judgment Day are going to interfere. We know that. It happens all the time. Happened with the Bloodline with Roman.
I was going to say, is it getting to that kind of level of predictability?
This is the thing.
Even though Damian Priest is kind of turning a bit babyface in terms of saying he doesn't need them there ringside to help him and he can do it on his own.
I think it's kind of... It feels like it's alluding back to the Bloodline, but nowhere near the Bloodline, but it's kind of like Roman's matches where it always ends in someone helping him. But I personally don't think... Damien doesn't need the help. He's right, he doesn't need it. But I think we are alluding to Finn Balor versus Damian Priest at some point.
Yeah.
And that's definitely the direction.
Money in the Bank.
And Finn Balor will win because I'll be in Finn Balor's corner and I will make sure he wins.
Thanks, Adam, for that. We really didn't need to know that, but I'm sure the viewers will love that.
Yes.
Anyway, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Clash?
10 out of 10. I am ready. But the main question is, Adam, are you ready?
Not yet, no. I am now.
Are you ready?
Of course, ready as I'll ever be.
And the last people to ask are the viewers.
Are
you ready?
But I do have one question that I want to check out there.
Go on.
We've talked about CM Punk being a surprise guest.
Yeah.
What do you think of the new Wyatt family could make an appearance?
No.
We spoke about this last week. And
I want to say the week before.
On the week before, that on some of the QR codes that we've had, it's all alluded to June 17th.
Which is the Monday after, so it's not this Monday, it's the Monday after.
So, if they're coming back on the Raw, I personally think we could see some, not throughout the thing, the show, but to end the show, I think you could see someone stood in a crowd.
Like it maybe in one of the boxes or something, like they have like kind of like Raw or something, or like shadowing by the Titran. They could kind of have like a shadow of Uncle Howdy.
Maybe.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah, I do think if they're coming in on Raw,
which then would, and maybe like as it happens, there'd be like a QR code, another QR code, like a final QR code, or like the screen kind of goes all glitchy and stuff, and Uncle Howdy kind of speaks in the background.
They could do something, because then the Monday after, he all signs are pointing towards that return in Corpus Christi, Texas, as we've looked at the past 2 weeks. But yeah, I think that's a good place to wrap this podcast up. Just over an hour. Thank you, Curtis. Pleasure as always.
He forgot your name then as well, didn't he?
Of course it is. Should we try that again?
Pleasure. Thank you, Curtis, for being with me today.
No worries.
And thank you, what's your name over there?
Big Shot. Big Show.
Thank you, Big Show, for Paul White for being with us. Adam, thank you
You're welcome.
so much.
Thank you both. And don't forget, tune in now on Saturday.
Yes, you're like London buses, Adam. You're with us for the first one, then you disappear, and then you come back twice in a week.
Don't need to be London buses, full stop. They come, you don't get one, and then you get them all.
But yeah, you are with us Saturday, 6 p.m. Might be a little bit earlier. Keep an eye on our social media feeds. We will be giving our live thoughts, our live reactions to Clash at the Castle, the premium live event itself, and we'll be on air a little bit before that to kind of preview and do a few bits and pieces around that. So yeah, thank you very much again, guys, and thank you for listening to another edition of the Are You Ready Wrestling podcast.